welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is JoJo Palacio, and on this channel we talk about all things beauty. Today we're here to do this sultry, sexy date night look. I'm obsessed with how it came out, and I think you're gonna love how simple it is. So today we're using a combination of high-end drugstore. I got some things in my BoxyCharm that I'm super excited to share with you guys. Before we get started, I just want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post twice a week on Wednesdays and on Sundays. It is content related to all things beauty, skincare, application, techniques, tools, everything that has to do with anything related to beauty, as well as follow me on Instagram. It's Jojo_Palacio, where you go behind the scenes, you get to go with me on date night, see what this is about, as well as see how the makeup wears, just because I know that it's one thing to see me apply it here and it looks fresh and cute and new. However, you also get a chance to see me throughout the night and see how this wears, because I talk about it, I comment on it on my stories. So let's get started on this date night glam. Alright guys, so let's get started on this eye look. Today we're going to do a clearly very glam look. We're going to start like we do every single eye look, which is with the Pillowy eye base. I wear this in the shade 0.5, which is a very neutralizing shade. The next step I like to do is set my eyeshadow base. I know that you can go on it wet. However, I think that it's easier to work with when you set it. So I'm going to take my compact MAC Studio Fix in C2, which is very similar in tone to the base itself, and we're just going to pat that all over. What this causes is a very smooth blend because it's powder on powder. You can totally go into the base wet, however, I think there's a little bit more friction. It takes a little bit more time and skill to figure that technique out. So to start off with our look, I'm actually using an item that I got in my BoxyCharm this month. This is a Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette. It is a 5-pan eyeshadow palette. It's her Jubilee eyeshadow palette. So there is some mattes, some shimmers. We're gonna start off with a matte. This transition shade has quickly become a favorite. Like, I know that I'm going to reach into it a ton. I believe this is called Vintage Taupe. It's so pretty. I'm gonna build this color up quite a bit on the Makeup Shack T46 brush. I'll show you what that looks like. So I like a nice fluffy blending brush from going into the crease. And so I'm gonna take this and just blend right over the crease. And if you can tell from the other eye, it goes up pretty high. So feel free to just freely blend circular motions, windshield wiper motions. I cannot tell you how beautifully that shadow blends. It is so nice, so nice. So next up, we're gonna work on the halo black part. The funny thing is, in this eyeshadow palette, this shade here looks like a shimmery black, so I almost used it and I swatched it, and this is what it looks like. Not black. So I'm gonna go into a black shadow, whatever black shadow that you have, and we're gonna switch gears to a much smaller blending brush. This blending brush is flatter, shorter, so it helps me pack as well as blend. So I'm gonna just grab the black on the brush, and I truly do like to build the color into this eyeshadow brush before I try to build it on my skin. It's just easier that way, less fallout. And so here what I want you to do is truly tilt your head back and just start by stamping this color to create your halo, your shape. So here's a little secret that I like to keep nearby, is a clean blending brush. No eyeshadow on this. You just want to make sure that you're blending the black into that first vintage taupe. And it's easy to get muddy if you continue to add black, or you can really diminish the taupe if you continue to blend and use more powder. So I'm just gonna take a clean brush and run it through the edges so that we get a nice soft transition. Okay, so now that we've got a nice gradient transition, we're gonna go into this beautiful blue teal color. I'm absolutely obsessed with this eyeshadow palette. I would have never purchased it on my own. One, this thing is $65, but I got it through my BoxyCharm, which is a $25 monthly subscription, and it's totally worth it because I've now gotten 2 Natasha Denona palettes. Secondly, It is such a good formula. I love all these formulas. So I'm gonna take this guy right here, which is called Mint Frost. And I'm going to take a flat brush. Flat brushes are for packing, color, building up. They're not really for blending. So I'm gonna just build up quite a bit on the brush. And we're going to pat and swipe this on the lid. So I'm gonna take it and put it in the center first. And then we're gonna just swipe it on to the rest of the eyelid. I like to take it and sweep it in towards the center from wherever I'm going. That way the center is always gonna be the point with the most saturation, concentration, pigment, whatever you wanna call it. Pretty. So I'm gonna run my black through there, and I'm not gonna add any black shadow. We're just gonna take the brush and just run it through. Okay, awesome. So now that we've got the buildup, we are going to move right along into our liner. So for liner, I wanted to keep it grungy. I wanted to keep it smoky, so we're gonna use a pencil. And I'm gonna take this 24/7 Glide On pencil by Urban Decay. It's their shade 0. And we're going to very tightly line the lid as well as tight line in the waterline. I'm gonna apply some mascara, and we're using our e.l.f. Volume Mascara and our Lily lashes in Mykonos. So let me wrap up the eyes by applying liner, mascara, and lashes, and then we'll start on complexion. All right guys, so I've zoomed you back out, that way we can start on our face. I love how simple this look is, but yet super glam. Primer combination of these two. So the Dr.Brandt Pores No More is my absolute favorite primer for pores, oil control, blurring, smoothing at Sephora. And then there's also this guy. This is a Vitamin Enriched Face Base by Bobbi Brown. I don't think I've used this too much here on the channel, but I do use it a ton when I'm prepping my clients for glam. I love it because it is a 3-in-1 moment. It is a primer. It's got a ton of vitamins inside of it, but it is also a moisturizer. So I'm obsessed with it because it is a quick and easy way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, literally. Love the way this feels. I love the way it smells. Your skin is absolutely gonna be hydrated and dewy and ready for whatever you throw at it. So today is a date night, and even though I wanted to use a foundation that I love, and I've just been using it way too much in my tutorials, so I figured I'd switch it up for you guys today. So I'm showing you a different foundation that I also love. Very similar to the NARS Radiant Longwear foundation, except this is the Anastasia, I want to say this right, Luminous foundation. I did use it on my channel for a little bit when it first came out, but it's been a minute, so I figured let's bring her back. Let's show her some love. I'm gonna take a couple of pumps of this guy. I use it in the shade 240N. I'm gonna take a couple of pumps. It's very, very similar to the NARS foundation in the sense of it's almost the same shape of bottle. It's the same distribution with the pump. So I'm gonna just build this into my M439 by Morphe, and we're gonna buff this in. The finish is a soft, luminous, natural type of finish, but it is absolutely full coverage, which I'm going for today. I wanted glam. I wanted to just look flawless. Boom. One thing I love to do after I apply my foundation is work it in with a sponge. So we're using my Morphe sponge here to just push this in. It really helps to minimize the lines from the brush, but it also pushes everything in and making it one layer, which is gonna be important from now on because we're gonna add concealer, powder, blush, contour. And so all of those layers make it look very unnatural, but using this technique of pressing it in between each one has helped me to just make it look flawless and skin-like. So my next step is to contour with my creams. So I'm going to take my Fenty matchstick in the shade Mocha, which this is not it, I gotta get it. But I'm also gonna bronze up and contour with this guy. This is the NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer, but I have it in the shade Polynesia. So this is gonna warm me up and my Fenty stick is gonna contour me out. So let's start with the contour. We wanna keep the contour very specific, very strategic. So here, I like to do a little in the temple area and then definitely my nose. And we're gonna do our chin. We want to snatch it up, you know? The cool thing about the blendability of these two products is that I'm just gonna go ahead and layer them one over the other to save time. You don't have to blend one out and then go back in and blend out the other. They just work so well together. I'm gonna take that on a nice angled buffing brush to help me get the angles right for my contouring. I always like to warm things up on the back of my hand and work them into the product. It's just more natural, easier blend that way, and we're just gonna go right into the skin. You see how easy that was? Yes. Guys, and if something looks too harsh or it seems very obvious, don't worry about it. I do the contour first so that I can clean it a little bit with the concealer. So it's all right, baby. So we are going to try a new color correcting concealer. I usually use two concealers, one that's very similar to my skin tone, and then the other one definitely a brightening concealer, but today we're gonna do it backwards. Our color correcting shade is provided to us again by BoxyCharm. I received this Dragon Beauty Dragonfire color corrector in the shade Lavender, and so I'm gonna take that into my inner corner here. And I'm hoping that this kind of helps to brighten this area in there and bring it forward. Okay. And then for our concealing shade, we are going to take one of my favorites. This is a Too Faced Born This Way multi-use concealer. I use it in the shade Nude. And so we're gonna take this baby and we're going to put it in the center of the face, nose, again, in the inner corner, out here lifting. Around the mouth to brighten, and then around the nose. This, again, foundation has amazing coverage, but I want a little more coverage here because I've got some blemishes that need some TLC. Furthest away from the under eye area, and then go towards the under eye. So I like to do the forehead. And then I'm also just gonna work this inward so that we're dragging the product to where we need it, which is our under eye area. Look at her skin, you guys. I'm obsessed. Okay, love that, love it. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set this with our loose powder. I'm gonna use the One Size Ultimate Setting Powder here. Make sure we get some out of there. Awesome. And I'm gonna take that on my damp sponge, press it into the sponge, and then get ready to press it into the skin. I'm gonna work that all over the areas that I just finished putting concealer. I don't want to completely mattify or powder down my entire face because I want to keep the radiance that I was talking about in this foundation, but I do want to lock it in place. So as that is setting, guys, we're going to continue to work on our under eye area, and so I'm going to repeat some of the steps that I did above. I'm going to take a fluffy but yet small blending brush. This is what that looks like. And we're going to take that color Vintage Taupe, and we're gonna just smoke out the lower lash line so that it matches the lid. Connecting it to this outer corner. This is very important so that it looks like one lid just connected to the other. Just like that. And then what I wanna do is take black and very tightly with that smudging brush, take that over the line. I'm not gonna bring it all the way into the inner corner because I wanna keep that pretty open. Something that I love to do to any look that's very dark and smoky is throw in a beige or a white to the waterline. So I'm gonna take this Power Pencil by BH Cosmetics in white and just line my waterline. It just opens the eyes right back up, which is very important. So what I'm gonna do is do a little bit of mascara on the lower lash line. Dust off this excess powder and kind of set the rest of the face, but not really. I'm gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless skin perfecting powder. This has to be my favorite powder when I'm trying to not fully be matte, but I want to set my face so that it is flawless. I'm gonna just take this and dust it very lightly, and also take advantage and dust off any excess powder that might be left from baking. So to bronze up and contour a little bit, I'm going to take this guy right here, which is the Pretty Vulgar Nesting Blank Face. I love this face palette. I used it a couple of weeks ago to do something very similar. I'm gonna take two of their bronzy shades. One is almost like a highlighter. These two shades right here. And we're just going to go over everything to make sure that we don't lose our tan. And then for highlight, I'm going to use this Fenty Kilowatt in Mean Money and Hustler Baby. I'm obsessed. I can't stop looking at myself if you guys haven't noticed. Obsessed. Lastly, to finish up this look, before we do our brows and lipstick, I'm gonna take this NYX Sweet Cheeks Matte in the shade Summer Breeze. Yeah, I love it, it's perfect. Very lightly over, or in between the bronzer and the highlight. So pretty. All right guys, so you know the drill. I'm going to do my brows off camera, my lipstick off camera, finish up my hair, and then I'll be right back to show you guys the completed and final look. All right guys, so I'm back. This is the finished look. Anytime that I do a bold lip or a bold eye and, you know, very smoky, very dramatic, I always like to do a nude lip. So our lip combination for today is NYX's matte lip liner in the shade Los Angeles, which happens to be one of my favorite. And then I also did a little Dior on the lips. This is their matte lipstick in the number 100. I love this. I told you guys in my gratis haul that I was going to be using this a ton this summer, and I'm staying true to that. So this is it. We put in some extensions, and I got a ton of clothes from Shein, which included this blouse. Super cute, very appropriate, very simple yet sexy for date night. So I hope that you guys like this look. I absolutely am obsessed with it. I think it is super sexy and super cute. For the brows, I just used the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil, and then I threw a little bit of my NYX brow glue over it just to lock it in place. So that is it for today's look. I hope that you guys liked it. If you did, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, as well as subscribe to my channel. I post every Wednesday, every Sunday, every single week, and I'm also on Instagram. It's Jojo_Palacio, where we talk about all things beauty and so much more. I love you guys, bless you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.